In today's video, we are going to be breaking down Kobe Bryant and how he plays defense. It has been about a year now that Kobe Bryant has passed away, and of course we all really miss him. That's why today, as well as tomorrow, I am honoring him with a couple of Kobe videos. Okay, so in this first clip, here is Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest players of all time. And when he is on defense, he is an absolute beast when it comes to defense. So in this first clip, what we get to see is a couple of major tactics that really good defenders use, and that is by keeping their shoulders down and low. They are going to be able to keep up with the offensive player no matter how fast that offensive player is, and because of that, they're going to be able to stop many players. As we can see here, Kobe Bryant's able to stay low and also change his height and stay straight up so that he can block that shot. So on this second attack by Kyrie Irving, he goes and tries to do a quick behind the back crossover to try and beat Kobe Bryant. Now, most players, this would be a simple blow by, but because Kobe Bryant is able to try and keep his shoulders down below the shoulders of his opponent, which is Kyrie Irving, and we even see this back here by having his shoulders over his knees, over his toes, he's able to stay level, balanced, and he's able to play defense without having to cross his feet. Now, yes, some players can cross their feet to keep up with a player, but usually as soon as you do that, if the offensive player is smart enough, they'll cross back in the other direction. But Kobe is able to play defense by shuffling, keeping ahead of his offensive player that he's defending, and he's able to change heights quickly. He's able to go from down low into having an arm that's straight up, no fouls here, and then because of the height difference, which does help, he is able to stay and stand straight up with his hands up to contest the shot, and then as soon as Kyrie Irving actually goes up for the shot, Kobe's able to block that shot. So by being able to do this as a player yourself, keeping your shoulders low, keeping your feet not crossed, being able to stop and then bring that right foot back like Kobe is right there, and then being able to keep up with that player, having that hand up in the air as he does to contest any of the layups or even a pass through. This is going to be able to help you stay ahead and also defend players a lot better. Kobe's also very good at the full court press. As we can see here, he does cross his feet once, but he's able to catch up fairly quickly, and then he's able to shuffle once again. Now, going back really quickly, what's he do here? He's able to notice that there is a player, this player here on defense may be calling out that there is a screen coming to him, and because of that, as soon as that happens, you can see that he really tries to pressure that player so that that screen is unable to work for him, and that player is now being forced towards the sideline. This offensive player is unable to attack the middle of the court, and because of that, he has to then wait until Kobe Bryant tries to reach, which Kobe Bryant does occasionally, and of course he does miss it there. That happens, but Kobe Bryant's speed is able to allow him to catch up. See that? Watch this. From non-crossed feet, one step cross, and he's back into shuffle. You should not be running along 2, 3, 4 steps to keep up with a player. You should be only having to take one step and then back into your defensive stance. And we can all learn this from one of the greatest players of all time. Now, after this, what happens is Kobe Bryant again forces that player to go back towards the left side. Now, as we know, this player here is a right-handed player. He's always going to try and get towards the middle of the court, which every player should. No player should go along the sideline as an offensive player. That's where defenders are going to try and force you. So when he tries to do a quick spin, he loses the ball slightly, but he was able to get it back. But watch, Kobe Bryant is still down into his defensive stance. He is still has his shoulders over his knees, over his toes, still nice and balanced, still trying to force towards that right side, and really trying to force, left side, and really trying to force that left side. No matter what that player does, he is being forced towards the left side. Most players, when they're trying to force a player, they're playing in front. Kobe Bryant didn't do that. If he was trying to force you in a direction, he would ride your hip. And being able to ride a player's hip basically takes away that player's right hand. So that player is now forced 100% to go left unless he wants to try and force his way back right. And if that's the case, Kobe Bryant, because he has his hand out past your body, in most cases with his palm up, he's going to be able to swipe away without getting fouls. So this whole play has been basically taken away because this player is being forced towards the left side. As soon as that player picks up that ball, Kobe Bryant gets close, gets straight up. You can take that shot, but that foul is not going to be called on Kobe, and in this case, the call was actually a travel. So by riding a player's hip, if you want to force him in a certain direction, and then once he picks up that ball, you can go straight up without causing yourself a foul, you are going to be one heck of a killer defensive player. This is what I mean by riding a hip. So here, this player Dwayne Wade wants to cross over towards his right hand, but Kobe has his left hand right here, palm facing up. By having your palm facing up, if this player tries to attack this way, that hand is going to be swiping up into the ball, and because of that, it's not going to be called a foul unless it's a drastic foul, because if your hand's up here and you swipe down, you've got a higher chance of hitting that player's arm. But by having his arm down, palm facing up, he can swipe upwards, and that is not going to be called a foul as much as if you were to swipe down. This is again Kobe riding a player's hip. So he's literally on that hip, has his right hand on that hip. He is really trying to force that player into this center so that now they can double team along the baseline. That is their goal here. And Kobe Bryant is able to reach in again because he's got his palm facing up. And by having your palm facing up, you can really get a lot of non-foul calls. So because of that, this player, offensive player, it gets frustrated, passes that ball out so hard that he actually whacks Kobe across the face. And because of that, we have a foul call, as we can see here. Now, something about Kobe that a lot of analysts have never really caught on to, and that is, right now he is forcing a right-handed player to go left, which a lot of players do because, of course, that offensive player, his weak hand would be his left side, and because of that, you are now technically putting him at a disadvantage. Now, he could always try to attack the top foot like we always teach, but if you've got a defensive player who is riding your hip, he's not going to allow you to go this way at all. So, because of that, Durant in this case is forced to go left. Because he's getting forced to go left, now he's going to pull up for a jump shot because we have a help side defender who's going to be blocking that shot. This player should be sneaking down just a bit so that there's no pass, but now Durant has to be forced into taking a shot. Now, because he's a right-handed player, Kobe Bryant can actually jump earlier to get up for that blocked shot. As long as he's not jumping into that offensive player's body, he's all set. And because of this, he can disrupt shots, he can block shots early, and then he can get that turnover so that now he can go onto the offensive side and get players like Steve Nash a wide open three. I hope that this video has helped you become a better defender. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.